Hello, this is Jason T. Ingram. I live in Oregon and I'm doing a video log about a time in my life where I am finally making a career, or at least having a very large attempt at making a career out of doing the multimedia stuff that I've been doing for most of my life. It's about 25 years too late from one perspective. From the other perspective is I would have never survived when I was in my late teens doing the kind of things I'm even doing now. So those of us who live with mental disabilities, we are late bloomers in a lot of ways. And one of the ways I'm a late bloomer, and I still am, is social subtleties. And I've never been tested for developmental disabilities, but I do have a lot of the same symptoms too. Although I haven't, tested as having anything on the autism spectrum or anything like that. But I have a lot of characteristics that are like that. And some of it is my social awkwardness. I might not seem awkward in front of camera or on stage because I'm used to that. I feel like I'm in control to a certain degree. I've had a lot of experience with that. I turn into a different person when I'm on stage. It's funny how nervous I am going to see somebody perform on a stage at a concert. I'm terrified. I'm nervous for days with it. And yet when I'm on stage, I'm not as nervous, but it's a different type of nervous, though. It's not I'm nervous, I'm in a crowd, people are looking at me. It's, I'm nervous, I'm on stage. What if I drop my pants or something like that? What if I do something really fucking embarrassing? And those thoughts go through my head, and I've had my share of panic attacks. If you look at some of my videos, I have a page called Sunday Driver Productions, and I've been uploading a lot of my shows. And last year, I did more live shows than I have done. I can't think of the last time I ever did that much live music, except when I was working on worship teams in churches about 15 years ago. But these were nightclubs and outdoor summer events. Oh my God. And weddings. 3 weddings. It was so cool. A gay wedding. And I'm still recovering from that. And I still think, if I had to do 2016 again, I wouldn't. But at the same time, it was a really fucking awesome year. I mean, it was just epic. I did a lot of things that it's sort of a middle-aged bucket list. Or maybe it's the fact that I never sowed my wild oats. I never really had my wild time. I went right from being a teenager to a born-again Christian. So I turned 21. I was not going to bars anyways. So it's like, what do you do when you're a born-again Christian? You turn 21 and you want to celebrate. Well, I was definitely one of those ones that did not drink. So today was a very fun day. I had my angel over today who I hired to do some organization and help me to clean up some big piles of messes that were sitting here. Even from our last show that we did in October, I still had stuff that was piling up. And so after that, I went out and got some sushi, and they're always tickled when I go in there because I order 2 little plates of sushi. I don't like to eat big meals, and I'm still having trouble with my tummy, even though, I mean, it's amazing I can take a full breath like this and not be in pain. And oh my God, I mean, it's amazing. And I'm going to talk more about my recovery from my physical issues. But yeah, walk into the sushi place with this hat. This big fuzzy hat. Speaking of which, oops. I'm drinking green juice off of my hand. Great. Kale. Yeah. I only do that just to show people I drink this shit. No. It's actually, this is really good. Speaking of tummy stuff, I look, and this has 4 grams of sugar, which is basically the natural sugars that you find in green leafy vegetables. Most green juice is full of sugar because they want people to drink it. The Odwalla drinks, I stay away from that shit because they are so full of fruit juice sugars that they really mess up my system. So just because it's green doesn't mean it's healthy. Look at this wonderful stuff here. Oh my God. We've got RCA jacks. We've got power cables and extension cords. We have cell phone stuff. We have everything organized. 1/4-inch cables, 1/4-inch to phono, thanks to my angel. And it's wonderful to just give myself the freedom to be able to hire somebody to do this. Because I used to think I had to set all these goals and do all this stuff myself. And I can't. I really, really just can't. And I can't, live on just sheer willpower. I don't have a lot of willpower. I don't have a lot of control over my mind, over my thoughts, over my behaviors. It's extremely frustrating. So instead of trying to just think about, oh, I have this magical ability to somehow just, I hate to use this term, snap out of it. But I've heard that for so many years from so many well-meaning but fucked up and bigoted people who say stuff like that. That just think that, oh my god. Anyways, I hope I didn't freak you out if you've been following my video logs. I had a total silent one. Yes, it was creepy. It was pretentious. I don't care because it was fun doing it. And I also feel like there's a lot of things that I could share that it would cause a lot of hurt and trouble if certain people had heard them. And at the same time, I kind of wonder, is that okay for me and for them and for this cause? And I have to be very careful with what I say in public. Yet, at the same time, I'm public about living with things in my life that really scare people. It was hard enough coming out of the closet as gay. A lot of people didn't feel safe around me, but I was living in Kentucky at the time, in the suburbs and out in the country in Ohio, and so yeah, that was a different thing. But now I'm experiencing it all over again. I'm coming to terms with something that I was born with that I didn't necessarily want, and I've tried to change, and I've decided I was going to accept myself and not be ashamed of it and be public about it. And it's been awesome. And at the same time, it's really weird how much mental health bigotry there is, even among the crowds that say they're welcoming and affirming and tolerant and all about diversity and all this wonderful lefty liberal stuff that I grew up in and I love. It's a part of my views. It's a part of my life. And yet we have our own form of hypocrisy. And a lot of it has to do with status and social status. And I've been thinking about that a lot. So that's something I'm dealing with. And I have to come to terms with the fact that if I'm going to be a successful entertainer, I have to be popular. But in order to be popular, does that mean I have to act all cool and just, hey, what's up? Just be one of those type of I'm so cool people. And I've done that a little bit. And I think some people have actually believed it. But then again, I'm a rock star, so it's really funny when I'm talking to somebody who's seen me perform and they get this perceived power thing, especially when I was a preacher. Oh my God, that was really, really a trip. And so when people find out that I'm just a dork and a loser, that it's weird to people. And a lot of entertainers are like this. And yet, a lot of times we're the ones that don't make a living out of it just because we don't want to play those games and go through all that bullshit. And some of it has to do with our chi energy. And that's something I'm going to talk about too, because I have these theories, but they're kind of new theories, and I'm kind of a little leery to talk about super spiritual stuff, because I always feel like if I'm super spiritual, then if I end up being an asshole, then I'd be like a really horrible hypocrite, and I don't want to be that way because I've been a hypocrite a lot in my life. So, the big fuzzy hat has spoken. I love watching Stephen Colbert, and he's got this long, fuzzy Mongolian emperor hat. And mine today, I wore it I went to a discount supermarket tonight. Oh gosh, there's always eye candy there. And there was a guy that was wearing a hat kind of like this with these big wings and stuff like that. Oh, and he smelled about as horrible as he looked, just handsome and rugged and sexy and just big and fluffy, and oh my God. I'm really glad I didn't take him home. He's dangerous, probably, and he smelled so bad.